Hello guys, musicninjamat here, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2 free comic book day titles that I got from Marvel. These were not free for me, because I didn't manage to make it down to the comic book store, so I had to eBay them, as I do every year, and pay for free comic books. So first up, we've got oh, that's shiny when it's bagged and boarded. It's the Amazing Spider-Man, and then it features some Infinity Countdown stuff, but that's not really a story. The free comic books are interesting because it means I read about and find out about new titles that I would not necessarily pick up and give a chance otherwise. So obviously we've got the Amazing Spider-Man prelude in this. And working on this, we've got Nick Spencer, Ryan Otterly, Cliff Rathburn, and Laura Martin. Straight away from the opening, I was like, wow, finally, the Spidey book I have wanted for ages, because I tried reading Spidey, and it didn't work for me. And even the all-new, all-different Spider-Man run that had, like, Death No More and everything, that wasn't working for me. I knew what I wanted as a Spider-Man book. For me, I just want the right amount of quips in there. I want him fighting his classic villains. I want the street feel. I want the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This had those things for me. The writing was top notch. I loved Peter in this. I really enjoyed the art, the way that Spider-Man and his webs and everything looks, I thought was really cool. We even get the smallest catch-up of just Spider-Bite, Uncle Ben, Spider-Man, like 2 or 3 panels, which was good. And the reason I was like, this tone is great for me, is because it just starts with Peter looking at apartments, and the apartments are crappy, and he's planning to move in with Randy, who is Robbie's son, as in Robbie from the Daily Bugle. And yeah, it's just Peter Parker being like, wow, this is what I can afford, this sucks. And I'm like, that's the Peter Parker I like, the poor Peter Parker. As they're leaving the apartment they're looking at, we see Boomerang, Rhino, Electro, the girl Electro, and Big Wheel, which was so random. But these 4 have just been running from a crime scene, and Spider-Man's like, yep, that seems about right, and proceeds to, obviously, Spider-Man and start fighting them. We got a really cool, what I'd call a classic Spider-Man looking moment, where Big Wheel's brakes short out and Spider-Man shoots all the webs out to sort of pull him back to stop him from crashing, and the rest of the team turn up and Spider-Man's like, do I let go of Big Wheel and defend myself or let myself get kicked in here? And then Kingpin comes along and interferes. Kingpin is now mayor, and he's like, good job, Spider-Man, and the police go to arrest him. He's like, no, you can't arrest Spider-Man, like, this man is a hero. And Spider-Man makes a really good comment where he's like, I would call you my arch enemy, but Daredevil stole you from me. Spider-Man also makes another little joke where he's like, I voted for Batman. And I like how comfortable Marvel's getting with referencing DC. Boomerang is actually able to escape arrest, and then he turns back up because Randy has found this great apartment, and he's like, we're able to afford it because there's going to be a 3rd guy. And of course it's Boomerang is the 3rd guy, and he's just like, yeah, hey roomie, and it ends there. And I'm like, I love this because it's the stupid drama that should be in a Spider-Man book. And I instantly was like, you know what, I'm picking this up. I'm picking up the first issue when it comes out because I enjoyed the hell out of this. And like I said, I probably wouldn't have given it a chance, so I'm glad that I got this preview. It says it's got an Infinity story in. It's basically just Star-Lord getting people up to speed. It's like these little points of, this is what happened in Guardians of the Galaxy. I found it really useful, because Infinity Countdown is just a continuation of what was happening in Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's got the right humour in it, because it is Star-Lord being like, yep, and then this went wrong, and of course this went wrong. So it's just an extra little bit that I actually found really useful. So obviously Marvel's other book was the Avengers Free Comic Book Day book, which also has a Captain America story in it. And this is interesting because I read this after reading Avengers 1. Honestly, really didn't like Avengers 1. I didn't like how Thor was written. I didn't like how Tony was written. I really liked the idea of the team. I was just like, I don't like how this is written. And they're fighting a giant celestial. Oh, this is what's happening in Justice League. Only I'm liking Justice League and not this. For the Avengers part, we've got Jason Aaron writing it. We've got Sara Pichelli on art. Elisabetta D'Amico on inks. I'm going to slaughter these names, by the way. And Justin Ponce on colours. So we get a meeting between Odin and Black Panther. And Odin's basically telling Black Panther about the old Avengers team from 1,000,000 years ago, where they actually killed a Celestial. And he was like, yeah, the final host is coming, and he's going to be so pissed off because we didn't show mercy to him, so he's not going to show mercy to Earth. They actually buried this Celestial under Africa, which, you know, Black Panther's a bit pissed off about. And Odin makes a comment where he's like, I wanted to nail it to the moon, to like warn everybody about coming to Earth, but you know that didn't happen. And he was like, it was the Sorcerer's fault. It was the Sorcerer Supreme. He's stubborn. Odin as well mentions that Loki visited him, and Loki was like, look who I brought. And obviously it is the final host. That's how Odin knows that the final host is coming. And Odin says to Black Panther, if it really comes down to it, kill Loki, because me and Thor don't have the heart to do it, but like he needs to die. And Black Panther's like, yeah, I'll do that. And then we just get the scene of Steve Rogers calling up Tony to be like, look, come and meet us, me, you and Thor, us three, we need to talk. And that sets up the opening bar scene then. That's in Avengers 1. We then have the Cap story. I was interested because I was like, that Spider-Man story won me the hell over. And I did attempt to read Marvel Legacy Cap, and I just wasn't too into it, so I was like, maybe I'll be into this. By the way, can't pronounce any of these names because we've got Ta-Nehisi Coates writing it, Lionel Francis Yu on pencils, Jerry Allen Goylan on inks, and Sonny Go on colours. We see like a Hydra group and some protesters, and they're like head to head, and Cap's just sort of stood about, clearly waiting for something. It ends up that Nuke, the fucking guy with the American flag face, he drops down and him and Cap begin fighting. And the whole time there's this woman who is doing like a commentary, if you will, and she's talking about how America was right when the war was happening, and it was clear America were the good guys, America were right. It was easy for Captain America to justify himself. You know, he was the Captain of America. But she just says, what is he the captain of now? And America, is it still right? Sure, America's strong, but it's plagued with people like Captain America, and there's all these weak people. And she says she likes America, but it just needs sorting out. And we see that this woman actually has an army of nukes. Not the weapon, but the guy. They all just sort of come crashing down, and Cap's there. And that was it. Not that interesting to me. With the Cap story, it was one of those moments where I was reading it and I was like, I don't know if I really understand what's going on. So maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it. But anyway, guys, those were the Marvel Free Comic Book Day titles. One I dug the hell out of, one not so much. But yeah, really excited for that Spider-Man story. There was another book that I got, not for free, even though it's a free damn comic book, but this one was much cheaper. And it was a Nightmare Before Christmas book. And I'm going to be making a video where I talk about this, but that's going to be a separate video. This is just Marvel Free Comic Book Day stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps the channel out. In the description below is all the social media links. Also, don't forget to go on the channel and just look at the playlists. So you'll be able to find movie reviews, comic book reviews, and it all broken down in that way. Cheers, guys. I'll see you in the next one.